Hi everyone, I'm 25 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. Today in my Come My Movie episode 3, I talked to Horizon and I asked him what he thought of basically every YouTuber out there when it comes to power play. All they ever say is, power play, just get the modules, screw everything else. As the general rule of thumb advice you see all over YouTube is, just sign up for 3 weeks, get your 750 merits, get the modules, there's nothing else really there. Which I think is unfair because power play is something that engages about a quarter of this community in weekly activity and roleplay fun. I mean, a lot of people engage with this. Their discords have thousands of members. Every faction in power play has a dedicated core of people that follow it, dedicate their time to it. So I asked Horizon for his opinion of kind of module shopping, and it may give you a little more insight and may make you think twice about how you behave next time you do go module shopping, or you might want to engage fully. Let me know after this.
Commander Horizon from the Federal United Command, who represents Hudson's and Winter's power play in our Elite Dangerous environment. I do power play because I'm attracted to President Hudson's way of operating. I like the Federation and I like what it represents. I've been doing power play since 2015 and have been pledged to Hudson, apart from shopping trips, all of that time. What we do in the Federal United Command is we protect Hudson's space by fortifying his control systems and fending off enemy attacks via weaponized expansions or other enemy expansions that encroach on our space. We do every single week, we do many thousands of merits and we spend many millions of credits on doing that job. It's an organized group of approximately 2,000 members across PC, PlayStation and Xbox. We always have redundant players in the game who come onto the game. They decide that they want, for instance, prismatic shields. So they realise they've got to go and pledge to Aisling Duval to get those. And they will go across to that power without any real mind to support Aisling Duval as a power, and without any organisation, and will earn merit to get to rating 3 to get their prismatic shields. Now when they're earning those merits, because they're disorganised, they may well end up harming that power. For instance, I'll just use Aisling as an example. I'm not an Aisling commander and I'm an enemy of those, but they do have a certain problem with random commanders who will go out and run preparation materials to the nearest system that they fancy, and some of these commanders will try to go rating 5 and they'll actually do a whole shitload of merits to a system that they don't want. For instance, they have a problem with HIP 1572. It's near to their capital of Cubio, so it's a nice easy one to run to, and you can run several thousand merits in relatively short order. And that appears to be what's happening week in, week out. With Hudson, we have a different system. It's the same kind of grind system, and people just run from Namam to that system because it's close and earn their power play merits to those systems. They're not interested in helping the power, and all they want is the module, but they'll go overboard. What I would say is, if you are shopping for modules, if anybody's ever shopping for modules, please just do your 750 or just over and leave it at that. You don't need any more to get your module. There's no point in doing rating 5. I know the 50 million check's nice, but you're probably spending that in the haul-in anyway by getting there, even more in some cases by fast tracking. So my opinion is, if you're going shopping, just do the 750 and leave it at that, because the chances are you're not going to be helping the power unless you decide to join the Discord, or at least approach the Discord with a question. I'm shopping for whatever module. How can I do something that doesn't hurt your power and potentially helps you while I'm here? That would be my idea with module shopping. Module shopping is a very faulty aspect of the game. For instance, I'm a Federal commander, I see an Imperial commander, I'll shoot said Imperial commander. I may win, I may not. It's up in the air at that point. However, I will attack. That's carte blanche. I'll always do that because they're an enemy to me. I can't stop doing that because that's my RP in the game. That's why I play this game. I'm a Federal commander. And I've worked my way through the, and I'm reasonably high up in the FUC. So that's my idea of power play: is see an enemy, attack an enemy. We're in open play. We're an open play group. We insist on doing all of our power play activity in open. It gives our enemies a chance to do exactly what I just said back to me. It's only fair that if I'm attacking them, then they have the right in open play to attack me back. It's only fair. So therefore, if I see an enemy commander, he may be module shopping. He may be some novice in a crate, just popping around, just doing his business while he's pledged. He's only probably doing his 750 merits, whatever he's doing. He may not even be in a particularly power play hotspot system, but he's still going to get attacked. He's still going to get bounced because he's pledged to that power. Now, that means that if he's just a module shopper, then really it's a very, very thin line between me being an aggressive power player and being notified as a griefer. I'm not a griefer, I'm just doing my power play stuff, but I appreciate that there's a thin line between an aggressive power player and a griefer, and that's where the lines get a bit blurred, I think. And I think the power play modules should be removed from the game. They should be attached to tech brokers or some other way of getting them without having to go and pledge their power. For instance, I'm a Federal commander, I do all my merits, I do several thousand merits every week, and then I decide I need some more prismatic shields, for instance. I have to go and leave my power and lose my vote strength because vote strength comes in at 4 weeks and then at 16 weeks. 4 weeks it becomes 1, at 16 weeks it becomes 5. But then I throw all that away and I go back to 0 for when I return to my power. While I'm with the power that I'm shopping at, I have no vote strength until I reach the 4-week point, and then I'm looking to leave anyway. Because I'm a Fed, I'm coming out of it. So I'm going to that power, I'm not particularly helping them, I'm going to just haul 750 merits or undermine 750 merits in some random system that I decide isn't going to hurt them, because again we have the fifth column element to all of this, but I'll come on to that in a second. But I will just get my merits and move back to my power with 0 votes again, work my way up to 4 weeks to get 1, and I have to wait 16 weeks before I can vote strength 5 again. Now this is a problem for a lot of us, because vote strength is important in power play. People need to get to their consolidation or preparation targets every cycle, and they rely on several or many commanders having vote strength 5. If I go shopping, I lose that, and so do all of the other commanders within my power that decide that they need to go shopping. I need those Imperial hammers, so they go and pledge to an enemy power for 4 weeks. What do they do in that time apart from just sit on their hands? They can't do particularly any useful power play unless there's a red team activity, or unless there's a power that we're undermining that isn't that is an enemy to them when they're away at their Imperial stuff. So I'm really quite ambiguous on the power play modules. I don't want them taken out of the game, because I think they are nice to have. They're toys. Most of the time they're a side grade, not an upgrade, but sometimes they're essential. Prismatic shields, for instance. Everybody's going to have to go and get prismatic shields if you're serious about any PvP activity. And us being an open-only power, we have to, because otherwise we're just not competitive. So I think that's a problem, and I do understand that people see Feds and they're in a system and they'll just jump on some novice in whatever ship he's in. It doesn't really matter, and they'll kill him. They'll wipe him out. Now that player then is, well, why did you kill me? Well, because you're a pledge to an enemy power. Yeah, but I'm only shopping for the shields. Yes, okay, but you are pledged to an enemy power, and that's all we see. Yeah, but I'm not your enemy. And then we come into this whole argument, let's say, of what's fair play and what isn't fair play. And the fact is, power play is badly advertised by Frontier. Should be more clearly stated that if you pledge to a power, I know it is stated anyway, but if you pledge to a power, people must understand that they are declaring their enmity to another power somewhere else. Now, it might be that you're at the Alliance and you're not really enemies with anybody, but it still may well get you attacked if you find yourself in the system and there's an aggressive PvP lying about. He will attack you based on the fact that you're pledged to that power. But we need to obviously clear up the difference between griefing and aggressive power play. That is an important distinction to make. If I'm in the system and I see no faction fly in, I personally will leave them alone. If I see a Kumo crew player come in, for instance, I'll probably leave them alone as well, or an LYR player. Again, I see their pledge, but I decide not to attack on the basis of my role playing the game as a Fed. We're at war with the Empire and Grom, and I will act accordingly. So if I see an Imp player come into the system, all I see is Imperial, Aisling Duval, Arissa Lavinia Duval, Genton Petraeus, Zamina Torval. That's all I see. I don't see Novice, Type 6. That's not my primary concern. The first thing I see is a pledge, and that's what decides my next move. If that pledge is either non or a friendly, then I'm not going to attack a player. That's not going to happen. And that's the same with all of the Federal players. If they've got an enemy player in front of them, that's different. They're going to attack. They're going to be hostile, aggressive, and do what they can. Within the role play of being the Fed, it is the thing. It's the same with the Empire. If an Empire player is equally as aggressive, he will see a Fed, and that's all he sees. And I understand that. And if I'm in a Type 6, or if one of my party mates or squadron players are flying in a system and they get bounced by an Imperial player, then that's all fair game. It's all properly good, GG's all round. It's exactly what we should be doing to each other all of the time. And that's my thoughts on power play and what we do and how we do it and why we do it.
So that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was informative. And like I say, so many people are engaged with Power Play Weekly. I think it's worth a bit of coverage. So thank you to anyone who stayed to the end. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you in the next video.